Hello everyone, in today's video we're going to take a look at the importance of setting the correct range for automatic fires on units. So what we have here is a pretty straightforward scenario. Again, this is just for the purposes of demonstration. We have ourselves a Nike Hercules, which has a pretty darn long range. It's kind of a classic American SAM system. It's used all around the world. I kind of think of it like I don't know what the non-Russian version of the SA-5 would be, but this is basically what it is. So what we're going to do is we're basically going to demonstrate why it's so critical that you set your WRA, which is your weapon's release authorization, so that the weapon actually will be able to hit the target you are trying to strike. I'll show you what I mean in a second. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and unpause real quickly here, and we're just going to let our little target that we've just spotted kind of sneak in. I'm going to go ahead and declare them hostile, and we'll see exactly what happens here. So our Nike Hercules, of course, is going to enter into the max range, and off the missile goes at a staggering, what was that, about 80 nautical miles away. This is a pretty cool missile. We're going to travel really, really high into the atmosphere, and is basically going to follow its complete arc. The Sukhoi is going to see there. He's going to go ahead and fire his second one. It's going to go flying up there. It's going to come down. Oh, it's going to go down. Oh, here comes the next one. And eventually we managed to actually get a hit. But what we really want to do is take a look at the end game here. So this is where it's going to get kind of interesting. The missed one missed. So if I actually open up the little detail box here, you'll notice here just kind of why it missed. Percent to hit adjusted for distance, 46%. So we lost 10% of our ability to hit the target because of the incredible distance. Now, there's another sneaky thing going on here, too. Now, if there were mountains, that aircraft would have ducked behind the mountains and the weapon would have been useless. So you're sitting there going, so we lost about 10%. And again, minus once you do all your agility and everything like that, look at the final probability to hit is about 20%, which is terrible. We can get up to 30 points. So instead of using 4 missiles, we only need to use 3. So let's go ahead and reset the scenario real fast here. Go ahead and grab that, like shoot. And let's go ahead and have the maximum range here for our shot. Again, what's the point of wasting the weapon if you know you can't hit? So we're going to go to automatic firing range real quickly. And we're just going to set this. Our normal range would be about 80. Half range would be about 40 nautical miles. So you're sitting there going, I don't know, 40 nautical miles seems like that's awfully close if our maximum range is 80. But let's see if that even makes any more of a difference here. So go ahead and unpause. There's our target again. So we'll just go ahead and kind of watch. So in 40 nautical miles is going to put it, let's put it right about here. I'll put that one right there, and we'll see exactly what happens here. So he starts cruising. He's kind of doing his little thing. Our Nike battery, by the way, in the early days didn't have TV screens. It actually used a little pens that would draw on paper in order to calculate trajectories. It was different. There's actually some pretty neat videos. Notice our SAM battery does not give itself away as quickly either. So he's going to go ahead and cross the 40 mile. Look at that. Missile on the way. Now, I imagine this one's probably not going to kill him because it is a very maneuverable aircraft here. And we've launched 3. And we've launched 4. And here comes number 5. And here comes number 6. Now it's a retreating target. Here comes number 7. You ever get the feeling the dice are just against you that day? Now, if he were here dropping weapons on us, we would never have been able to take a shot on him. And now we are out of ammunition that we can readily use. Let's take a look at the result, however. Let's see, weapon game. We're taking a look here. We jammed it successfully. Oh, spoofed, 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 spoofed. You can see in this particular case, our Sukhoi was amazingly effective at basically completely jamming the bejesus out of that poor missile there. So the only way we're ever going to be able to get a decent number is if we reset everything and take away that capability. So let's go ahead and restart that one again. Again, this is one of those things that you have to think about. I'll zoom in. We'll go ahead to our sensors here, and we'll just get rid of those. Ooh, a radar warning receiver. Remove sensor. We'll get rid of that defensive ECM. That's just not fair. All right, let's go switch back to the other guy. Set him back to a 40 nautical mile range and see what happens now that we've eliminated one of our variables, so to speak. We'll say 40. We'll say 40. We'll come down here. Of course, we could do this with the S400 if you prefer. I will show you the real advantage to this in a minute. So let's go ahead and unpause. We see him again. He's over there. Grab this guy. Speed up time a little bit. He's going to cruise into range. And any moment, the weapon's going to fire. Off they go. Now let's see what happens this time. So we fire 1, and he's gone. Let's take a look at the actual report here. Contact change, yeah, got splattered. Let's see here. Impacts. What were the probabilities here? So we're at a 45% adjusted for target speed. That was not one. Notice we have no adjustment for distance this time because we're not firing at that extremely long range. So as a result, our final percent to hit was a 25. If our target was a little bit slower, we'd actually have an even better one. Now, I know you're sitting here going, okay, so basically use half range. Got it. Where are we going with this? Where are we going with this? Well, let me show you where we're going with this. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and reset my scenario again. I'll go back. We'll go ahead and grab our guys. I like shoot and die. That's pretty funny. We'll pick this side real quickly. I'm going to go ahead and delete this guy here. I'm going to get myself a Tycho. Go to surface ship, Tycho, and we'll get a nice one. Now, let's see here. That one looks pretty good. Block 2B. Ooh, my. That's a heck of an anti-missile platform. So now, of course, we have to launch junk at it. So let's go ahead and switch back to die. Really specific, right? Now we'll go ahead and get aircraft. So we'll get ourselves, obviously, Tupolev 22M3 is the correct answer here. Let's see here. I'm pretty sure it was M-3. Oh, it's M-3. Sorry. All right, we got the modernized version. Sweet. All right, let's get a nuclear rotary launcher. That seems fair. The kitchen, I love this weapon. It's so nice. AS-16. All right, this sounds like this sounds fair, right? So we're going to go ahead and copy him a few times so that we have a whole little tiny battle group's worth. Copy those guys. Go like this. Go ahead, unpause real fast. I'm going to flip on their radars because we do need to be able to actually acquire the target. And that looks pretty good. We're just slightly out of range. Allocate all. No. Allocate all. Allocate all. Allocate all. Allocate all. Okay, so let me show you the real trick here. So we're going to sneak this way. I wouldn't be surprised if, yeah, they already launched missiles. And off coast their missiles. And they're being jammed. These poor Tupolevs are not going to get very far, but they will have enough time to launch all the weapons. Beautiful. All right, let's switch back to the Americans. So now how can we apply this? Well, first things first, this is VLS, so you can spit a lot of these things at one time. The problem is, and let me show you exactly what's going to happen here. So these guys are going to pass each other in the night, and they're going to go right by again. Those are targeting those. These are the ones targeting the missiles. Now, because these targets are so tiny, if we launch these SMs at maximum range, we're going to end up running out of them. So the trick here is to actually go ahead and tweak the maximum range in which to attack them with the weapon. So in this case, let's see here, we have block 3Bs. So we'll come down to block 3Bs. And instead of launching against guided weapons at stupid long, dangerous distances, we can shrink it a little bit in order to improve our chance of hitting. Obviously, it gets a little bit scarier as well, but we're not going to waste all of our interceptors on targets that we can't actually hit. So here we go. Here we go. Comes flying in, and keep in mind several of those. Oh, here comes the fun part. It's so much fun to watch. One of the cool things, if you want to see something really neat when this happens, is if you actually look at this from the side. I'll go ahead and grab my ship here, get the Antietam here. It's just fun to watch this. It's just like of all the anti-ship missiles. Notice because they fired from maximum range, they're actually firing over the heads of the missiles, which is again why you want to make sure that you just tell your missiles not to fire at their maximum ranges. Again, this is just another little quick tip. Here comes the ESSMs, I believe. I think we're close enough for them. Not quite. We will in a second. And here comes the SSMs. Yeah, there they go. Again, this is why they call it an Aegis ship, but I'm not comfortable with the fact that this missile got within 1.8 nautical miles. That seems a little nerve-wracking. And we shot most of them down. And I believe one of the Tupolevs survived all that. And I just think it's kind of funny that they just took these absurdly long-range shots here. Look at this. Boosh. And they managed to get one of them. So the key element there, and the takeaway that I just want you to realize, is if you leave it alone, you're going to end up firing a lot of weapons way beyond the maximum range or beyond the radar horizon and never actually be able to do damage against a maneuvering target. Now, if your target did not maneuver, feel free to take the shot at absolute maximum range. Another really, really classic use for this is if you want to think about the F-14, if you tell it to fire its long-range Phoenix missiles at maximum range, you'll never hit anything. That's just a general tip. Hopefully this has been helpful. Other than that, enjoy.